this is where wisdom comes in, is being able to make these kinds of judgments about where those lines are, et cetera. I mean, you're trying to do the best that you can to live as faithfully as you can in the midst of a world that isn't going in the direction that it should be going. And so, at one level, the easiest way to do that is in terms of your own personal interaction, your own personal engagement and integrity. That's the baseline. The hard part comes when you're asked to move into spaces where those ways of living are skewed already.
Mm-hmm.
And those become judgment calls.
Sure.
And some of them aren't transparent as to what the call ought to be. And you just do the best you can to be as faithful as you can, and to be as faithful to your moral commitments as you can.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because I think when it comes to, contextualization versus syncretism, we're often looking for not even looking for, I think we often treat it like a very black and white. So that person is definitely over the line, and that person's definitely in front of the line. But as you say, case by case, wisdom.
Well, sometimes it's very hard to know. Some of the situations you find yourself in, both of the alternatives are poor. Okay. So, I remember, I'll give you as an example, make it concrete. I remember a wife of a pastor showing up at my office. She was taking my class at the time. And she walks in and she says, "Our daughter has come out as gay. She's engaged to be married." This is right after the Bergefell decision. She's engaged to be married to another woman. She knows her dad can't supervise over the wedding, but she's asked if he can read scripture at the wedding. What should we do? Okay. And I stopped and I said to her, you're going to have a difficult conversation with somebody. It's either going to be with your daughter or it's going to be with the congregation. There was no way in that situation to have a simple and clean solution with everybody involved. Or another illustration, the same thing. A mother walks into a pastor's office and says, "My child has come out and said he thinks he's gay. What should I do?" The pastor has 5 different audiences that he has responsibility for, and the concerns of those 5 audiences are all very different. He has a responsibility to the child. He's in his congregation. He has a responsibility to parents in his child in his congregation. He has a responsibility to the congregation as a whole. He has a responsibility to the congregation as witness in the community. And he has a responsibility to God and Scripture. Those are not in alignment when that happens. Okay? So how do you manage that? All right? So there are going to be ethical judgments made with each one of those audiences in order to sort your way through that space in that situation. Sometimes a fallen world gives us alternatives, and none of them is very good.
Sure.
So what do you do then? That's the problem. And you're trying to look for the answer that does, if I can say it this way, does the least damage.